shouldn't, to kind of filter out where he's safe at. So I took offense to the sentiment. I took offense to a few sentiments, but...
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Scores and Assists, where we break down the latest headlines and bring you fresh takes on everything sports and culture. From trending news to game highlights and hot debates, we've got it all. Hit the subscribe button and stay in the loop. So Marc Lamont was part of an explosive panel discussion about racism, Carmelo Anthony, and Shiloh Hendricks with Myron Gaines, Lily Gaddis, and Ricky Schlott. This was part of a recent episode of Piers Morgan's talk show, Piers Morgan Uncensored. Marc Lamont had to do what is commonly referred to in the black community as the Lord's work. The episode focused on two recent stories in America. That of Shiloh Hendricks, the white woman caught on a viral video referring to a 5-year-old black child as the N-word, who has since raised over $600,000 from supporters. Then we have Carmelo Anthony, a black teenager who allegedly killed a white teenager in a confrontation.
Family with them.
The feet pics might do it.
They might. Keep my options open.
There you go.
This nigga said, yo, hold on to the good madams. They hard to come by.
I'm on God.
I believe you, son. This nigga said it like
Way back in the day.
it's a barber.
Long time ago.
Yo, hold on to your barber, my nigga.
Way back in the day, in my Florida days, when I was in some of the strip clubs that I shouldn't have been in, trying to fuck women that I shouldn't have been trying to fuck. A good house mom helps. It's like a third base coach.
Yes, for sure.
It's like a third base coach.
Yeah, it is.
A good house mom will set this straight and let her know who to be with, who not to be with, how it should go, who's a good guy, who got good Carfax, who got...
Stay away from this one over here.
Yeah.
This one right here.
A good house mom, have her just walk to the car. Like, all right, fuck it, because the show is too big.
Go home.
The show is too big now, so when we talk about that stuff, they want me to get arrested. But that's my past, Angela Rye. Like
it is our too.
That's part of where I come from.
Lord, I love you.
It's important for me to understand all walks of life. I'm not shaming where anybody got their education, what that education may be, and how they choose to disseminate that. I'm sure I'm more of an intellectual when it comes to escorts than Angela Rye. But that's besides the point.
I think.
What are we talking about?
It sounds like y'all want to talk about Angela Rye.
We're at hour two.
Well, we're in hour two, and we already just did what we just did coming off the break. So here we are, right back to it. Angela Rye, I totally accept your non-invite to your platform, and would like to add on to it.
Wait, she disinvited you from her?
No. She said everybody up here wouldn't be welcome.
Who wants to go up there?
Oh, man, I can't go somewhere that I didn't want to go.
Well, see,
I didn't even know they existed.
Why don't we tell the audience what happened?
Fuck.
Okay, go ahead.
Tell him.
Yeah. I thought y'all was going to do it, but
Tell
I
him.
never heard Mark Lamont held speechless.
So, get your hand out your pocket, nigga.
He just made noises.
In the aftermath of my contretemps with Flip last week,
Yahoo?
He's doing it now. He's doing it.
Yeah, he's doing tricky words.
Tricky words.
There was a lot of media that came out, but one of the big pods that I saw respond to it,
Subjective.
and I just heard it this morning on the way in, was the Native Land Podcast, which is a podcast with Andrew Gillum, former mayor of Tallahassee, Angela Rye, formerly of CNN Media Mogul.
Mark, if you're going to do it and give your friends a whole bunch of respect,
Tiffany
let me
Cross,
do it.
and I gave y'all a chance to do it.
All right, yo, check this out.
We usually
No, because he's being too respectful for me.
we gonna turn up. He's supposed to. We gonna turn up.
Yeah, but I don't want to. They
Let him
podcasts are
get
so
more
big
back,
and say they last.
Anyway,
I don't think he should say that.
let
I
me
don't
finish the
wanna
thought.
hear
I'll just say this. They put a podcast out responding to what happened between Flip and me, and they offered different perspectives on that. I thought they were generally respectful, and I agree with a lot of what was said. Some of it I had a slightly different take on. But they were basically using this as a kind of launching pad to talk about a bigger issue, which they saw was a dumbing down of America. I think the episode was called the Joe Budden podcast and the dumbing down of America.
Shit.
And they were saying that the exchange between me and Flip is evidence of that. Now, as I said earlier in the show, I don't agree with that part of it.
It's just not in his head, so I think he does.
Yeah.
Well, that's where problem number one arises for me, and then I'll toss it back to Mark. You title it that, and then admittedly say, I don't look at that, because that's not in my ministry. See, and that's why I appreciate what Andrew had to say, because he said, one, I'm not familiar with this podcast. I don't watch the clips from this podcast. I assume this is not their frequency every week.
He did.
Thank you, Andrew. Thank you, Andrew. That's why you need niggas with brains around. Thank you. That indeed is not our frequency every week. He went on to say, I also trust Mark and his ability to gauge where he should and shouldn't be, who he should connect with and who he shouldn't, to kind of filter out where he's safe at. So I took offense to the sentiment. I took offense to a few sentiments, but one is that I don't love Mark down. I take offense to that. I don't know how much I want to go into love Mark down. Fuck one.
No, it's a bunch of things. I think that the young lady Tiffany. So it's 4 people on the panel. 2 gentlemen, two women. Angela Rye, young lady Tiffany, Bakari, and the old mayor, Andrew Gillen.
Who's your age?
So,
former mayor, I think. If we were a little more,
he ran for governor.
Yes.
Okay. But who I think is dope too, by the way. So a lot of times in these political spaces, a lot of times in the spaces that are quote unquote intellectual, we often look at demographics and we look and pick and choose when we want to play victim and we want to play aggressor. So when the rich white people are doing certain things to us, we cry wolf. I mean, we don't cry wolf, we cry foul. And then we'll take the same exact thing and now shun other people that are less than we are or that we deem less than we are. So when we're in a political space and we see all these rich white people making all these moves and doing all these shit and saying, fuck the masses, I don't care what they think. And then the young lady got on the platform and basically called Flip dumb and said, I don't give a fuck what he thinks. I don't want to hear from him because he's not, in my opinion, credible, or his opinion is not valid. It's the same thing that the white people that oppress us say their opinion is not valid. I don't want to give a fuck about the thoughts of sheep when I'm a lion. So I think that that's a hypocrisy in that. You understand what I'm saying?
I do.
Also, what happened with Flip and Mark is contextual, and if you don't watch the pod, which none of them admittedly do, you don't even understand the argument that was taking place.
And this is where my problem comes in the so-called intellectual community and thought process. Not watching or citing your sources is a huge red flag. You can't just spitball some shit and then claim you're an intellectual, or go off a 30-second clip and claim you're an intellectual. Like, if you don't watch the podcast and admit that you don't watch the podcast and admit that you only see it in clip, and I didn't watch their podcast, so I can't speak on that, but if that is indeed the case...
That'd be ironic.
I know, right? Which why I won't have a ton to say in here, but I do have a problem with someone not watching the podcast and having a deep
Strong
opinion about the podcast.
And you don't even know what the argument. You don't know what the argument is about, where the argument came from. You don't know anything.
Well, that's part of where my acceptance of her non-invitation becomes relevant, right? Like Angela, right? I can assure you, like, I've got over 25 years in this business. I can assure you, if you and I are in the same place, it's a mistake on my part. Like, I'm all for people saying who's invited and uninvited places, so I ain't mad at it. But we would never be in the same space.
I disagree with that, and I took offense to that, because it was almost saying that, if you aren't this, if you don't have these accolades, I don't even want to communicate with you, right? And again, to my same point, politically or economically, some people can now say, if you don't have X, Y, Z amount of dollars, I don't want to talk to you, and your opinion is fucking nothing to me.
Right.
Well, and because of that, I wouldn't be so quick to cast aspersions on people that I don't know, like, is what I'm saying. True. Like, I've never met these people. I've been in the business a long time. If we've never met, I'm not taking your content and then just assuming that I know about you or your character. It's in bad taste, which is why you'll never see a clip titled up here, Angela Rye, anything. No, I'm not watching the content. What you're talking about is not my vibe, and that's where the facts stop for me.
See, Flip is my friend, though. You know what I'm saying? And so they were shooting at Flip a lot. It was unfair. And then we get into these spaces where, no, Flip may not have 3 degrees. I've been to Flip house. Flip got an elevator in his house. I've been around Flip. Flip generates more income than a lot of these so-called academics do. You understand what I'm saying? So when you go on,
kid is well spoken.
so Flip's children are mannerly, they're polite as fuck, and they good kids that you would think grew up in fucking Livingston, New Jersey, somewhere, Short Hills.
So I don't have time
I
for
don't
y'all
like that,
looking
bro.
at content and deciding which departments people are bright in and people are not. Who the fuck are you people?
See,
Hold up, Mark. It ain't time for you to fucking cop a plea for your friends. That's a dead serious. Like, who the fuck are you? See, I'm cool with content lands being different too. Some of y'all only get on camera with the intellectual perfection areas that you bright in. I don't pride myself in doing it that way. Like, I do things in real time. I allow people to see my shortcomings. I allow people to see where I made an error in judgment. I allow people to see, I'm a fan of redemption. I allow people to see growth. I'm not just trying to only pop up when shit is good. I think that there's a certain courage in that. I think that takes a certain level of tact and boldness. So again, for you people to look at Flip, y'all don't come on. I don't know if everybody's so bright in they fucking relationships.
No,
I don't know if everybody's having a blast with their parental situation. I don't know what your situation with your fucking kids or your siblings is like. I don't know what you like in social settings. All I know is what I see from the content. You quote unquote intellectuals seem to be pulling a lot from places that, again, like it said, you admittedly know very little about. It just comes off a way.
Yeah,
it comes off a way.
It's like if you put,
especially when you pretending to especially when you pretending to do all of this super black kumbaya shit. I got a problem with that too. I got a problem with the people that masquerade as kumbaya, super black, all for the people, and will be the first one to tell you how we're different. I come on here every week and say we're less different than we all like. We just got different ideologies. But I'm not going to keep listening to people who in 25 years, I've never said the name Angela Rye. I don't give a fuck about nothing y'all talking about over there. I'm saying that respectfully. I don't come on here and say a word about any of that shit. I expect reciprocity. You could have titled that clip totally different.
That's true.
Don't claim to be super pro-black and then take the #1 black urban podcast and put that type of stink on it because you think you got a friend over here. That don't give you a license.
I don't think it's that. I don't think if Mark was here or not. I think
if Mark was here, they would never have those conversations.
No,
they having those conversations because their friend is up here.
No, they having those conversations because Mark is deemed an academic and an intellectual, which you.
Well, he is not deemed.
No, I said what you are. So now it's why is he even there? Like Angela Yee said, Mark, just come home.
Angela Rye.
Angela Rye said, Mark, just come home.
That's the other beef.
But then you go on to say how diverse Mark is. So I think that that's an insult because you don't put Mark in a box. Mark is home. Mark is a black man sitting in a room with black men that grew up in similar circumstances, albeit we wasn't all in the cult. You can't say he's
all
not
had
home.
our own walks of life.
Yeah, dog. Like I just disagree with that shit.
Thank God there was a black-owned, independent media company there to pick up our good brother when he was misunderstood by other outlets.
Talk about it.
Why is that part not being said by pro-black native land people? I'm getting confused.
Yeah,
Mark was a free agent. Y'all had a chance to bring him home.
And didn't.
You didn't.
That's a good point.
So don't sit up on your fucking platforms all pretentious as one of the Charlemites. That's how I know you. I know you as one of the Charlemites and get to saying what Mark should and shouldn't be doing. Please, if you didn't discuss this podcast before, if by your own admittance you know very little about it, shit, the woman Tiffany said at least 5 times that she don't give a fuck about these other opinions. All I'm asking is that you act like it.
Also, if you're for the furtherment of intellectualism in America, and particularly in the urban space, I hate that term, but whatever. Wouldn't you want an intellectual on the biggest platform to disperse some of that?
Well, that's why.
That's what I'm saying, Mark. Mute up, man. Mute the fuck up. Honestly, that's what I'm saying. I love Mark.
We all.
Facts. We do. I do too.
Slash. I learned from Mark.
Also do as well.
Slash. I want and need Mark here. It's all of those. It's all of those things.
But you know what? It's a flip side to that coin. Mark is way more decorated than you academically. Mark can learn something from everybody else up here, and that was one of the things. It was I know,
And that's
this is not
academia.
your sentiment.
That's
It was-
intellectualism. That's academia.
Yo, and it was almost like, yo, what the fuck is he up there for? He's just hanging around with these hooligans that he can't take nothing from. And that's not the case, my nigga. Again, you could have a doctor, a brain surgeon, right? Could sit in a room with a financier. The brain surgeon can have fucked up credit, be behind in his payments. He's smart in that particular area. Whereas the financier can't do a fucking surgery, but he over here sitting with a net worth of $50 zillion. You could be smart over here and smart over here, and the two might not intersect. That don't mean that the brain surgeon is smarter than the nigga that's a financier. Flip, like I said, lives well, my nigga, and makes more money than a bunch of motherfuckers that got a bunch of degrees. This nigga's kids are well-mannered, well-raised. He lives well, and I don't think Flip might have never had a corporate job in his fucking life.
Well, that's on them because they think black is niche.
Fuck is you talking about? I don't like that, bro.
They moving around here like black is just
Flip is independent.
one thing.
Flip is independent. A multimillionaire independently. You can't say that about a bunch of black motherfuckers in academia.
And how
I don't
about
like that,
how
bro.
about we
I don't like
encourage more conversations with each other, just about how, and I'm not necessarily saying us and y'all. I'm just saying with each other about how we can be of assistance to each other. Why don't we not always try to drive a wedge in between some shit that already has enough wedges?
Exactly.
If you so fucking intellectual, one, how about understand context and nuance? You could have made that point again without saying this pod. Two, I never heard Mark say I'm a fucking super intellectual. I never heard him say that. I never heard Michael fucking Dyson. You know my man.
Eric Dyson.
Eric Dyson.
Eric Dyson.
Michael Eric Dyson. You know the fuck I'm talking about, the nigga. You know the fuck I'm talking about. I never heard him say, I'm an intellectual. I never heard that. I never heard Neil deGrasse come say, I'm an intellectual. The intellectuals teach. They're not running around getting an erection or getting a wet clit from self-identifying. And there's a lot of that going on that I'm only seeing since Mark got here. You motherfuckers can go back to the griot. Y'all can go back to the spiritual healer or wherever the fuck you get your news from. Again, y'all don't have that license because your fucking friend is up here. And he could have been there. Anyway, I'm sorry. I'm done. Go ahead, Flip. I'm done. I'm done.
For real?
Fucking Angela. We not invited to fucking Angela Rye's show. Are you fucking crazy?
Can I say something, please? People, and I've been seeing this, people saying that you shouldn't argue with me because I'm dumb, right? In their opinion. But a lot of people move with that intellectual arrogance. And intellect doesn't make you superior. And that shit not supposed to be used as a weapon. Intellect is supposed to be used as a bridge. You know what I'm saying? Hold on. To connect, to encourage, you know what I'm saying? To connect, to encourage, and to motivate me to be an intellectual. Or to go over there and study and do that. That was my issue, and no disrespect to my brother Mark, it's not an issue, but that was my back and forth with Mark. You know what I'm saying? It's like, yo, bro, I look up to you. Bro, I respect you. Bro, you my man, and I didn't take in consideration that you're just one of us. I'm just looking for you for advice. Like, yo, you know what I'm saying? So when you crack the joke, I'm not looking from that from you. You know what I'm saying? I'm looking from Ish. I play around like that with you. I was like, you know, so that was my thing. I don't feel like intellect should be used as a weapon. And number two, I'm not saying you did that. You my brother. We talk. You know what I'm saying? And number two, man, I got it from the mud. You niggas can't relate. You know what I'm saying? Common sense ain't so common. You know what I mean? And I don't need a book. Or not saying I do need a book. That's the clip. I do need a book, but I didn't need a book in order to get where I'm at today. Yes. You know what I'm saying? We make fun of this man and we can say whatever he want, but he took a chance on somebody. He took a chance on someone like me. If you look at my history, he took a chance and said, you know what, I fuck with Flip and I appreciate Flip. I'm gonna bring him up here on the #1 podcast. And that shit meant a lot to me. You know what I'm saying? So I look at that and I appreciate Joe and I appreciate everybody. And shout out to you niggas, man. A lot of you niggas can't fuck with me. And I don't mean to say niggas, but people can't fuck with me. Get to where I'm at. Get to where I'm at, man. This shit is from the mud. And when you get it from the mud, you appreciate different. You look at people different. You don't put other people down because you want to celebrate them, especially the ones that got it out the mud.
Not a lot of times, especially when you still punching the clock for the white motherfuckers that you supposedly condemning.
Ooh.
This nigga's self-employed, bro.
I think,
and one thing that stupid people and Andrew and Bakari said this. I was so, again, I cannot stress. I cannot stress.
They held it down.
How appreciative I was for what those two gentlemen had to say on the matter.
Sure, I beg your pardon.
Again,
I didn't.
But one thing that quote unquote stupid people are really good at, and they said it, is knowing when somebody called them stupid.
They did.
I'm glad they said a lot. I'm appreciative of those brothers. Angela Rye, I accept your non-invitation. If I'm somewhere and you there, I'm leaving.
No, I'm a fan of Angela Rye too.
yeah, I think
I've sat up here mad times. I'm a fan of Angela Rye. I just think that in our community, there's unity in community.
I'm not a fan of her, but once we get to our all black club, we could identify where we at, who's our tribe, and who ain't.
I think they all love black people, and I think they all care about all of us up here. I do.
Sound like it, then.
Just hear me out. So I think first, in terms of the title of the episode, I agree. I wouldn't have titled it that because I think that doesn't set the table for the kind of conversation we want to have. It alienates people from the beginning. I agree with that. I think Angela's a dear friend.
And it just appears a little. Like
nigga, it's clickbaity. What the fuck are you talking about? It's clickbaity,
we know what it
bro.
is.
Like you are their friend, right? So they're invested in a you and Flip back and forth. And I guess y'all are on this podcast, but it's behind a paywall. It wasn't made. But like, why is my name even attached to whatever this is? One, and two, why would you want to cast that type of light? Because also they showed that other clip where you were saying rest in peace to your friends, that were lost, and we handled it very poorly. I admit we handled that. I handled that very poorly. But again, don't tell me that you all pro-black and then want to highlight the very, very, very worst of the best black podcast that there is. I'm just not buying it. Words and actions need to align at some point.
I feel you. I mean, I think we're all guilty sometimes of not doing enough research on clips or on shows when we make opinions.
That's true.
I think that's all of it.
Especially us too. Get it.
We're in a professional response business, so that happens sometimes. I think if those are the only two clips they saw, I could see how someone could draw an opinion of the show that's different than I see the show full time. But that's why we should read more, and that's why we should watch more.
And trust more. Trust your friends.
Yeah. Angela's a dear friend. I mean, a dear friend. And she cares about me. And so I think we're going to be passionate in defense of our friends. And that might become the top priority. So I do understand that. And Tiffany, all of them are friends, but Angela's a close friend.
Fuck out of here.
Got a question for you.
Let me get
I'm going to ask a question after that.
Yeah. So I think that's part of it as well. I heard their comments a little more nuanced than that. What I heard Tiffany say was, when she was pushed on it, was, I'm not saying people shouldn't be everywhere talking. She just said, that's not my ministry. I don't want to be in those spaces. I think everybody recognizes that that we have to be in all the space, that we shouldn't just be in academia, or we shouldn't just be on mainstream legacy media. We should. I don't think they're saying I shouldn't be here. I think they're saying I shouldn't be here if it's not healthy or safe.
She literally said.
No, but let me finish the thought.
Mark cleaned it up.
I shouldn't be here if it's.
But I'm not gonna let you lie on what she said. Tiffany said you should not be here.
Right.
Verbatim. Mm-hmm. That's not me freestyle.
No, I'm with you, but just
and that Flip shouldn't be heard.
And that's hear what I'm saying. Then there was a pushback, and Bob saying by the end of the conversation, I think what they were trying to say that wasn't communicated well, I agree with you, was I shouldn't be here if it's not safe or healthy or productive. I think the problem is, if you don't watch the show fully, from the clips you might think that, but if you watch the show, you realize that it's not. And that's what I'm saying. I think we have to watch more and study more. And again, I think part of that is just the being protective of your friends. I agree that some spaces aren't worth being in. I agree with that wholeheartedly.
As do I.
Yeah, I don't think this is one of them.
As do I.
But I do think that there are spaces, and I think that's the point they're making. I just disagree with the analysis that this is one of those spaces. That's all I wanted to say. And then finally, I agree with you 100% on the last point. And this is not about the Native Land Pod, but it's about all these places. Is a lot of people who say to me, "Why are you up there?" I give them two reasons. Right? One is I actually think this is a healthy and good. Well, three reasons. One, I enjoy it. Two, I think this is a healthy and good environment for me to have these conversations. I'm talking to people I've never been in conversation with before. I'm talking about the audience. But third, like to your point, like I got fired by CNN in 2018. No,
Ain't nobody call.
These wasn't calling. You know what I mean? It's almost like that. It's almost like that Whoopi Goldberg thing I was talking about before. It's like all y'all mad that I'm with this person, but none of y'all want to date me. You know what I mean? And so it's like,
I was perturbed about that.
And that's not that's not a critique of Angela and them because they're not in the hiring business. But I'm saying like these companies, these corporations, even some of the fans are like, why are you here? Why are you this? Like, because I took some pretty passionate stands that y'all tell me to take, and then when I take them, it comes at a price. And
goddamn right.
Yeah, and I'm willing to pay that price. And I'm always grateful to you for opening the door, knowing that it's not an easy choice to hire me. It's easy in some ways. In some ways, it's like, what the fuck are you doing? And so I never take that for granted. So I think it's a lot of moving parts there. I do think America's getting dumbed down. I do think we need to have that conversation.
I agree.
I just didn't want Flip to be even
the
poster
face
boy for
mascot poster boy
because it's not
that conversation because it's unfair.
And he's not that.
Because it's not fair. Yeah.
There's way stupider podcasters than Flip.
I was
about to say that, but I was like, I was a fucking asshole.
I just wanted to ask you, Mark. I just wanted to ask you because you said she's a dear friend of yours.
Yeah.
Has she at any point reached out to you and had a conversation prior to going?
Yeah,
up
she
this
did.
internet?
She did.
All right.
She did. And I didn't get a chance to holler back fully. She came to me not about the pod, but about like I'm concerned. You know what I mean? Like, are you okay? What do you need?
Yo, learn how to share your fucking friend. I don't want to hear this shit Mark talking about. Learn how to share your friend. You got a friend that's cool on this side and is cool on that side. Share your friends. You know how many fucking mental health conversations we done had with Mark and with each other?
Yeah.
Like, don't tell me about some fucking fight that Mark and Flip had. Like, there's a brotherhood going on up here, whether you see it or not.
But it is a prejudgment based on your perception in the media. They look at you one way, like you're obnoxious, you're provocative, and all of these other things. So you couldn't dare have a brain.
I'm not mad at
You couldn't dare be outside of a surface level thinker. That shit is insulting.
I'm not mad at a misjudgment. I'm mad at the attempt to correlate it to anti-intellectualism.
That's what I'm saying. You couldn't have a brain in your head.
Part of the problem is viral culture, though, because if people look at the 3 biggest clips of me ever, maybe the 4 biggest clips of me. One is me laughing at the dude about the Cheesecake Factory with Angela, actually.
That's funny.
You know, one is me and you about the flat Earth. One is me and you now.
You're welcome.
You know what I mean? You see what I'm saying? So, like, I think we've had some great moments up here.
The mace.
And me getting, fuck you, yeah. But my point is, like, there are moments up here that I think are great, talking about mental health, talking about depression, that I wish 5 million people would see, that I wish the media outlets would talk about. But the shit that goes viral is always the worst or excessive parts of what we do.
But they leaned into that, too. They leaned into it, number one, with the name of the clip. You playing the game. They playing the game as well. You leaned into it with the clip. Not just that. You also took the number one biggest platform and you structured your argument around it to gain some more clips. Yes. You did that too. Y'all playing the game too. Don't act like you above the fucking game in the fray. You doing the same shit.
Yeah, I think it's also weird to, of course, I personally, and I think all of us would like America to be smarter. But
and that's not just a black thing, my nigga.
Yeah, exactly.
White America is dumbing down every fucking day too. Technology and all of that.
It's America,
which they did say in the podcast.
They did say.
They said
but my point was that I was getting to is I think we consider ourselves an entertainment podcast more so than anything. You can't expect high level intellect everywhere. I don't want that. I want to go to the channel for laughs and music talks and stupid shit, just like I want to go to the fucking video essays I watch on YouTube too. Like,
well, that's the thing I got frustrated with Twitter after this and other times. They're like, why is Mark talking about whatever, Jay-Z or whatever when he should be talking about these other things, or I hate that he has to talk about these. It's like, nigga, I wrote that on the board. Like this morning, I wrote Lil Scrappy on the board. You know what I mean? I could name Brian McKnight.
We are pulling
people.
Mark down to the trenches with us.
But that's back to black people are not a monolith.
Show. Mark has his own show. Support that. Big Data. Put that on your platform.
Or go to my Patreon.
Man from North Philly that has experienced some nigga shit the same way he has experienced some high level shit as has most of the people in this room. Don't diminish us and who the fuck we are because we on this podcast talking about jerking off. It's some niggas out here running $1 million. No, dog, it's niggas out here running multi-million-dollar businesses on their own.
And that's
what
where
you talking about,
but that's
nigga.
where again is just a little naive on the side of the quote unquote intellectuals.
Intellectual arrogance.
Flip is running a multi-million-dollar business.
Yeah.
In spite of what you think about how he articulates things, that's not possible without some type of intellect.
Because y'all would be doing it.
I'm running, I ain't gonna say what the number is on me. We know. I'm running a business.
So my shit multi-million, but your shit is a business when you got a certain number.
I don't even know if your shit a business no more. Your shit might be a corporation.
Enterprise.
Enterprise. That's cool.
I'm just saying, I'll be the first person to tell you that I left one school in the 10th grade. I left a second school in the 10th grade. I left GED school. I left Votech. I left piano classes. I left anywhere where they was trying to.
That thumb was getting in the way.
Yeah. Yo, I'm not ashamed of it. That's my story, right? Like, I embrace that. Part of what got me where I am is I totally embrace my story. None of y'all could shame me for it, right? But part of my belief system with two recovering addicts as parents is there's genius down there. There's genius down there where some of y'all choose to overlook, where some of y'all choose to not be in rooms or have a conversation. I applaud Mark for being over there with y'all in the geek show and then coming over here and being down with us. One of the very first things Mark said when he got here was, listen, I've been doing X for this amount of years. Now I'm heard by my people. He didn't say by new people. He said I'm heard by more of my people. So if y'all are unequipped, the rest of you intellectuals, to go to both parties, then don't shame one of y'all for having those tools in the toolbox to be able to do so, is all I'm saying. I hope I conveyed my point with all the respect in the world, because I don't have any beef with y'all.
Long story short, fuck division.
Yeah, I'm not with it.
Yeah, it's divisive.
I'm not with it.
It is divisive, bro.
Yeah, I'm not with it. I'm not.
I appreciate y'all.
I appreciate y'all too. Now, when I have my little house events and Angela and them are there and y'all are there, how do I need to have you on separate sides of the
I think Angela's
You got a
fire.
big house.
Well,
not big enough, apparently.
I think Angela's fire. I'm a fan of Angela Rye. I've said it up here multiple times.
And she loves black people and she loves us.
I'm a
so she's
fan
great.
of some of her work as well. Please don't misconstrue what I'm saying as in I don't want to ever hear her. The way my black folk algorithm works is when she says some things I need to hear, it's there for me to listen to. I'm not a regular listener of theirs, but I'm also just not with coming in here and just fucking kicking everybody in the back for no reason.
Mark,
Unless you logic.
Do you think that her opinion is she's saying that it's too late for me to learn, or I'm too ignorant to learn?
No, I didn't get that from what she said. I don't think it was even about you at that level. I think again, you and the show became
The faces.
it became like the launching pad for a bigger argument.
Yes.
I think that's how the media works too. People have things they want to talk about, and we use news pegs as a way.
Yeah, well, make your point without Joe Budden's name in it.
True.
Fair.
Make your point without saying mine. Because then I get the chance to respond. And she said that shit like there's ever been a call or a text that said Joe Budden is trying to pop up into Angela. And I ain't mad at it.
I promise it wasn't about you. That wasn't about you. That wasn't about you. That was. I think the point was just
If
like
it's about y'all, it's about me.
I hear that.
If it's about y'all, it's about me. That whole speech, it was about me, even if it wasn't about me. But anyway, peace and love. Peace and love to all.
Yeah.
And there's enough going around there's enough cake around for everybody to get a slice. That's it.
All right, on to our next story. Sex toys.